So, how was your Mother's Day? You can tell me the truth. For some, Mother's Day was wonderful, maybe even surprisingly so. But for others, even with the best intentions, Mother's Day can leave us feeling a little deflated. If you woke up today feeling a little down, this episode is for you. Hi, ladies. Welcome back to Not Just Moms, where we discover who we are beyond mom and carve out some time just for ourselves. I'm your host, Stephanie No, your life and mindset coach and fellow mom navigating this crazy journey of motherhood with you. May is always so hard, right? We're on the brink of summer and there's so many activities going on. Teacher appreciation, birthdays, summer signups. But on top of that, we have Mother's Day. For many of us, Mother's Day brings up a lot of emotions. For some of us, it's immense joy, and for others, grief or longing. Whatever it was, I hope you know that you are an amazing mother and you are doing a great job. Today, I want to address those feelings that were stirred up due to our expectations not being met. Maybe you felt a little unseen or a little overlooked. And those feelings, they're totally valid. So let's talk about it. You know, in this day and age with social media and Pinterest, I think it's very easy for us to get caught up in the beauty and aesthetics of it all, which may drive us to compare and despair. So before we dive into how we can manage our feelings when expectations aren't met, let's first talk about how we form our expectations of Mother's Day. Where do these expectations even come from? Let's take a second to consider the powerful influence of social media and the often curated online version of this day. When we are so immersed in social media, there's no doubt that it plays a role in shaping our unspoken expectations. Think about your social media feed leading up to Mother's Day. It's likely filled with picture-perfect brunches, flawless families, and often a barrage of ads showcasing seemingly essential gifts, like that one specific brand of diamond jewelry that suddenly pops up everywhere, even if you've never heard of this brand. I'm not gonna lie, I clicked the link. It piqued my interest. I wanted to know what it was all about. These platforms thrive on beautiful aesthetics, but are they an accurate reflection of most people's reality? It's easy to fall into the trap of compare and despair when our day doesn't mirror these highly curated highlight reels. I want to remind you that these people are content creators. It is their job to create these reels that look amazing and aesthetically beautiful and pleasing to the eye. So let's turn inward and reflect. What were your expectations for Mother's Day? Were they clearly communicated? Were they based on genuine desires for feeling loved and appreciated, or were they perhaps influenced by societal norms and, yes, those often sponsored picture-perfect online posts? It's worth asking ourselves, are we striving for a perfect day based on external validation, or are we focusing on what truly brings us joy and connection? The good news is we have the power to reevaluate and decide for ourselves. Take a moment to consider what truly makes you feel seen and appreciated. Is it a grand gesture or the small, heartfelt moments? Recognizing this difference is key. As we move into how to navigate disappointment, remember that clear communication and a conscious effort to challenge those idealized online portrayals can help us create more realistic and fulfilling expectations for the future. Take a moment with me. If you're feeling that post-Mother's Day slump, What specifically is lingering? Was it a lack of acknowledgement? Or a gift that felt impersonal? A day spent serving everyone else instead of being served? Identifying the source of that feeling is the first step. So we've unpacked where these expectations might come from. Now, what can we do when they aren't met? For future Mother's Days or holidays, let's discuss how we can navigate these feelings of disappointment and move forward with grace and self-compassion. So number 1, acknowledge it. Don't try to pretend you're not disappointed. It's okay to feel what you feel. Say it out loud to yourself. I'm feeling a little disappointed about yesterday. The more we resist our feelings, the more it will fester. Have you ever heard the saying, what you resist will persist? And it's so true. How many times has disappointment turned into bitterness that turned into an argument and just kept going and going? Which brings me to my next point. Number 2, resist the blame game. It's easy to point fingers, but try to approach it with curiosity rather than accusation. Maybe there was a miscommunication, or maybe others simply didn't realize what you needed. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt until we actually know what happened. And that leads me to number 3, communicate gently and later. Once the initial emotions have subsided, consider a calm and collected conversation and use I felt statements. So, I felt a little sad when. This is about sharing your experience, not starting a fight. I don't know about you, but most times I just want to be heard. Number 4, focus on what was good. Even if the day wasn't ideal, were there any small moments of connection? Any kind gestures that you can appreciate? Sometimes when we're busy indulging in the negative feelings or emotions, we tend to overlook the other things that might have gone well or brought joy. So don't forget to celebrate those moments, as tiny as it might seem. Remember, a moment that might be tiny for you might mean the world to someone else. Talk about a perspective shift, huh? Number 5, practice radical self-care. Now more than ever, it's time to nurture yourself. Do something that brings you genuine comfort and joy. Take that long bath, read that book, go for a walk, whatever fills your cup. Remember, this is about nurturing the individual beyond the role of mom. As I like to ask myself when I need this reminder, what does Stephanie need? Right? When I use my name, it almost feels strange because I'm always playing a role. But when it's just Stephanie, it gives me a sense of it's just me. Like, what do I need as another human on this earth? Finally, number 6, reframe and recalibrate expectations for next time. What can you learn from this experience? Were you able to gain some clarity on how you formed your expectations for this holiday? And if so, how can you communicate your needs more effectively next year? If it makes you feel better, we all have had that one Mother's Day where your husband bought you a vacuum or forgot completely. I don't have a crazy story or anything, but that's exactly the problem. Nothing happened. It was my first real Mother's Day, and my baby was still an infant, and my husband did not plan anything. To be fair, he's not really big into celebrating anything, even birthdays. I know, he's strange. So imagine I wake up to my first Mother's Day, and I'm so excited, and guess what? It's a normal day. And even worse, he asked me what I wanted to eat. the monster. Hey, all the moms out here know the ultimate gift is not pushing the mental load onto my plate and instead taking it. The gift is planning it so that I don't have to. But he totally missed the mark, and I'm pretty sure it ended with me in tears, and he was in complete shock. Like, what is happening? And to be honest, my husband is very receptive to listening to what I want or need, but I didn't say anything prior to the day. I just thought to myself, he should know. Well, apparently he didn't. And, fast forward to today, he did an excellent job executing this Mother's Day. I let him know that all I wanted to do was hang out by the beach, so he planned the day and got my kids ready, and it was excellent. I mean, did our kids cooperate? Not really. There were lots of tears and fighting on the way, but we made it and ended the night with the most delicious gelato. So all in all, it was a great day. And you know what? It sounds strange, but I'm grateful that we had that first fail of a Mother's Day, because without that, we would have never talked about it and he would have never known. So ladies, if you didn't get the day that you envisioned or expected, remember, one less than perfect day doesn't define your motherhood or diminish the incredible mother that you are. You are loved, you are appreciated, and you deserve to feel celebrated. Let's use this as a teachable moment to ourselves. And now we know that we will communicate our needs moving forward. And by the way, let's focus on cultivating joy and appreciation every single day, not just on one designated Sunday of the year. As I told my kids the other day, today is not Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. So this week, I want you to be extra kind to yourself. If you're feeling that post-Mother's Day disappointment, allow yourself to feel it. Choose one small act of self-care that will bring you some joy and comfort and remind you of your self-worth. If any of you need any ideas, gift ideas, or ideas for self-care, feel free to email me at sno@stephanieno.com, and I would be more than happy to give you some suggestions. As always, share this with a girlfriend who needs to hear this reminder. Let's build our village together. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you guys later. And remember, every day is Mother's Day. Bye.